Hi everyone and welcome back. My name's Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. In this video I'm going to be going through lessons 11 and 12 from Learn to Play the Piano Book 2, which is just behind me. This actually is a follow-on from Learn to Play Piano Book 1, which I'll put a link directly underneath this video if you want to know where to get hold of that and the links to all the videos and all that kind of stuff. So this book behind me is 100% downloadable, which means that you can buy and download this book wherever you are in the world. And the link where to buy this book is either coming up here or it will be in the description bar directly underneath this video. So let's get started with lesson 11 and 12. So this video is going to be lessons 11 and 12, just because lesson 11 and 12 are quite short lessons, so I've decided to put them together. So starting off with the front of the book, you've got your contents page, you've got the preface and important notes. Read those because it'll tell you a little bit about the book and a little bit about the reason why I've written this book and what things are in this book. Lesson 11, recapping from book 1. So basically, you can read all this, but basically this is all the stuff that you should have picked up and you should know from book 1. Remember, this book 2 is a follow-on from book 1, so some of it may not make sense if you haven't followed book 1 series, especially if you're a beginner. So just very quickly going through the 4 points, things you should know. You should know your way around the piano, so you'll know middle C, you'll know where the notes are on the piano because that was all covered in book 1. You will know and understand the concept of scales. So there are 36 in total, and we'd have learned one of them in book 1, which was the scale of C. So this book introduces some more scales and things, so at least you understand the concept of scales and you've at least had a go at it. You'll know and understand the basis of music, such as note values, so you'll know crotchets, quavers, minims, or quarter notes, eighth notes, half notes, that kind of thing. It is kind of prudent that you do know how many beats those are worth, because it's kind of assuming in this book that you do know those sorts of things. Point number 4, and probably the most important point, is that I would expect you to be on your way to starting to remember where the notes are on the music. So in book 1, I did have all the letters written on the music. For example, I don't know, let's get to an exercise. Some of the letters were written underneath the notes. Now, the letters are still written in this book because book 3 will be going on to reading music. Don't worry, it's just my method of how I go about doing this. But book 3 will be about reading music. So the notes, the note letters are still written in. They're just a little bit more discreet in this book. But I mean, if you can start at least learning C, D, E, F and G, which you have in the right hand, in the left hand you also have C, D, E, F and G. If you can be kind of relating to where they are on the music, when we start introducing more notes and things, then it will just make life a lot easier for you. So that's pretty much just lesson 1. Make sure you do know those things and you're happy with them before you move on, otherwise you might just find it a little bit tricky. Lesson 12, why do we learn scales? So there's lots of information here on why we learn scales. I'm not going to go through that because you can read that yourself. There's some reasons here, 5 reasons here, just 5 reasons why scales are good for you. There are lots more reasons, but they're just the top 5. And then I go on to playing 1 octave scales. These are the scales that we're going to be doing: C major, D major, F major, G major, A minor and D minor. Now we have touched upon C major in the first book, so that's still included in this book just to make it complete, but there are 5 more that we're going to add on. There is a link here to lesson 3 from my from book 1 on scales if you want to just have a refresh of that. But moving on, page 6, there's some more information up here about the difference between major and minor scales. So you're going to have 4 major scales and 2 minor scales that we're going to do in this book. So if you read this information, that will help you out. But I'm going to go through and I'm going to play these scales so that you can hear what they're going to sound like and you can physically see my hands moving on the piano. What I'm going to do is play each scale, separate hands, and then I'll play them together so you can see them. So this is C major. So I'm going to assume that you know all about the fingering because that was covered in book 1. So remember that's 1, 2, 3 and then tuck your thumb under. But you've got the fingering written in front of you, so if you follow that you should be good to go. And you did it in lesson 3 in the previous book, so again it's all the same. This is the left hand. And C major together. right hand of D major, so you've got a couple of sharps in there. Left hand, remember there's lots more information in the book that you can obviously read, which I don't need to read out on camera, so you can, everything's all explained in there. D major together, scale of F major. Now you might notice there's a little asterisk that you've got here in F major, and what that means, it says just please see the explanation on the next page. So because F major has a B flat in, we have slightly different fingering. So the fingering for all the scales in right hand and left hand is exactly the same, except for the right hand of the scale of F. And because we've got a B flat, so we've got F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, we cannot do our regular 1, 2, 3 and under, because you can just see how my hand is doing that, how awkward that is. So what we do is 1, 2, 3, 4, then we tuck the thumb under, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we end on a finger 4. There's no finger 5, so don't be worried. We end on 4. Then going backwards, 4 on B flat. It's quite easy to remember because this is, it's just so awkward to do that. So that one's quite easy to remember. Just on the way back down, remember to cross that 4. If you cross the 3, it's fine, but then of course you're one finger short. So don't forget to cross the 4. The left hand of F major is the same as normal. So you might find hands together for this slightly more confusing, just because the fingering in the right hand has kind of messed it all up for you, but some slow practice will help. G major scale. Left hand. Together. Then A minor right hand. Left hand. It's up to you whereabouts on the piano you play these scales, by the way. I'm just playing them here just because they're in the middle and they're nicely in shot. A minor together. And lastly, D minor. Left hand. Remember, you've got 2 black notes in a row there, so it's fine that it looks like that. So that's basically it with the scales. There's a little bit more information here and also a what to do now. So basically I suggest that you play each scale through, say 4 to 5 times, hands separately, then you can try them together. And then each time you sit down to play the piano, start off with these scales, as they will help to warm up your fingers. And that's the end of lesson 11 and 12. So thank you for watching lessons 11 and 12. Like I said, the link to get hold of the book and all the other videos will be in the description bar directly underneath this video. So go and check there, and I look forward to seeing you in lesson 13.